Mr. Speaker, as my colleague just pointed out, the rate of satisfaction of Canadian Armed Forces members in the health care they receive is far below National Defence's target levels. And despite the well-known problems in staffing military mental health care, $41 million of spending on health care for soldiers was allowed to lapse last year while a crisis in military mental health unfolded. This is unacceptable, Mr. Speaker. Why has this government failed in almost every measure to deliver the needed health care for soldiers and veterans during this urgent crisis?
The Honourable Parliament Secretary to the Minister of National Defence.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'd just like to remind everyone in here that we inherited the decade of darkness from the Liberal government, and every measure that we brought forward in increasing spending and in hiring more people to support our soldiers in health care and mental health care has been voted against by the NDP. So we'll continue to do the right thing and hire the appropriate personnel and invest the dollars to help our soldiers who so bravely serve this country, and we'll continue to ensure that we have all the dollars needed to get the job done.
For St. John's East.
Mr. Speaker, they had a decade to fix it. This morning at 9 a.m., our Veterans Affairs critic and the member for St. John's South Mount Pearl were scheduled to tour the Canadian Forces Station St. John's after being invited by the commanding officer. Last evening, they were told by the Minister's office that a tour couldn't happen because the station was not in their riding. No, Mr. Speaker, it's in my riding, a stone's throw from St. John's South Mount Pearl. The Minister knows full well that this facility serves and draws from all of St. John's and the surrounding area, indeed all of eastern Newfoundland. This is outrageous, Mr. Speaker. Why do the Conservatives continue to treat military assets as if they were political assets instead of the pride of all Canadians?
Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, members of Parliament can visit bases when it works into the best schedule for our armed forces. You've got to remember that right now that we have a heightened level of security at all our military bases across this country. These aren't parks. These are where people work and have to be concerned. And so we'll continue to work with members of Parliament to arrange visits at the appropriate times. And I'm sure that, Mr. Speaker, that we want to make sure that the resources of Canadian Armed Forces are being used wisely at every base across this country.
Full member for